Now? Now. Yes, yes. Oh, you guys are so beautiful. I'm so happy to see you. So wide straddle, just lie down. Or, good morning. So wherever you are, maybe you bring your hands forward. And maybe you walk your hands forward like little spiders. And wherever you need to, start to soften down. And I'm looking at all of your postures. Nobody seems to need a block. You look beautiful. So take a full breath in and just through your mouth, sigh it out. Let your head hang down. Let your elbows start to get heavy. Let your belly relax. With your eyes closed, take a couple moments to, with your eyes closed, notice the place you're in, which room, the sounds around you. Maybe you can hear a bird or two, or just an old house creaking. Take a couple moments then to turn your attention. How is your interior space today? This infinite space we have inside ourselves. Feel your breath. Maybe start to let it be a little fatter, a little fuller. And as you breathe, start to imagine that you're breathing with other people. I mean, we get all these beautiful clues to how connected we are. Maybe start to notice that your inhale and your exhale sounds a little bit like the ocean. The waters that connect all lands together. It is known to the ancients or the different indigenous tribes that our water systems are our systems of communication. The rivers that flow through our land, the undammed rivers, part of their job actually is communicating to the land how the land is further away. Now, as tempted as I am to leave you in this posture for the whole lecture, take about 4 more fine, unhurried breaths. And then roll up Take your hands to about mid-thigh, flexing your feet, push the ground down, and lift up your hips. Yeah, very nice. So you might just have like your butt lift up, or maybe you can lift it all up. Nice. And then do a little twirl, and then come on to, I'm going to give you options for this next posture. You want to take either saddle pose, where you come back sitting onto your feet and lay all the way back. So with saddle pose, you come down and lay all the way down. You might be able to just come down to your elbows. And maybe you're not able to do that pose at all. And then you come into Sphinx. So I'm checking you guys out. Some of you might have to try to figure out which one makes sense today. So in this version, you can sit on your heels. Very nice. And Stiffy, I think your screen is frozen. And then find a way that settle into the pose. Feel your muscles respond to your breath. And I'm going to read you a kind of long quote. And most likely you will have reactions while I read this. But keep reacting and keep going with me as I read this. It's by Jeff Foster. And I don't know if any of you know who that is. But it, most easily said, kind of self-help guru. I don't know a lot of his work, but I found this quote and it speaks to something I've talked about before. You say you are good, kind, pure, spiritual. No, you are alive. You cannot be reduced to a concept, positive or negative. Don't mask your aliveness with words. A murderer lives in you, a rapist, a terrorist, willing to destroy the world to find peace. A saint, a savior, a sinner, a soldier, a warrior fighting for a cause, a pacifist, a mother, father, sister, brother, a lover, a healer, rage and despair, terror and ecstasy, and numbness too. A lion lives in you, and a deer, a walrus, a worm, all the great beasts of the ocean, all vegetables and minerals, all the stars in the sky, all the dreams ever dreamed, all the lives ever lived. You contain it all potentials, all possibilities, all histories. Your heart is a stage and all the players move around in your heart. So which player will you nourish? Which will you inhabit, moment by moment? Which will you attempt to deny or destroy? Which will you shame? Which will you numb? Which will you bow to? If you don't need to define yourself, you can be all beings, all of the time, and none at all. And then you will have the compassion for all beings, for you will see them all in yourself. You may not agree with them. You may not like what they do, but you will understand their broken hearts, their terrors, their loneliness, their nightmares of the daytime, their unanswered prayers. You will see how they struggle with pain they cannot hold. Feel feelings they never learned how to feel. Think thoughts they think is unthinkable. You will see how they have made truth into something fixed and external and have forgotten their mysterious nature. You will weep as they weep and laugh as they laugh. And nobody will be alien to you any longer. There'll be no us and them, no sides, no enemies, no sense that you were born superior. You will have woken up. It was only a play. Breathe, feel your feet on the ground, friend. Reset the stage and never forget, never forget. You will play all the roles in your time. You will play all the roles in your time. Start to come up one elbow at a time if you are in saddle pose. If you're in Sphinx, you can just lie down onto your belly. Moan and groan. Have the pleasure of being alone in your house to be all weird and grunty or sensual sounding. Heaven forbid. And then wiggle your way into a nice, comfortable seat. If you can move your legs. You'll notice that you might feel like you can't move them, but moving them is what will make them feel better. And then come into a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to heart center. Feel the ground below you, root down so you can lift up. Close your eyes. And even though you can't hear all the other people in this moment together with you, and lovely Zoom will probably cut off my ohm, we're going to do 3 ohms before we start getting hot and sweaty. So close your eyes, lift up tall, and empty your breath. Take a deep inhale. Flutter your eyes open, and then find your way into downward facing dog straight away. So come into down dog and wiggle your dog around a little bit. Dance your dog. So let your hips move. Take one leg and shake it out, and then shake out another arm, and then shake out another leg. And then, did you get all your arms and legs? There's a lot of them. Yeah. Maybe make sure your neck's okay. You can just dangle your head. Beautiful. And then with both of your feet on the ground, maybe start to just hop a little bit in your downward facing dog. Like you're super excited. You just can't wait to flow. And you want to shake in such a way that all the soft parts are wiggling just a little bit. Like your bum, your belly, your boobs. Yeah. Those were all the B's. And then settle your dog. Bend your knees a little bit and scoot your tailbone, your sit bone up to the ceiling. So you have a nice little curve in your lower back. Take a full breath in here. Then empty your breath all the way, lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward, and lightly and quietly hop your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, come up to a flat back, pull your belly up. Exhale, release and bow down, let your head drop, your belly lift up. Push down with your feet and roll all the way up to the sky, stretch up tall, touch the ceiling, And with your exhale, bring your hands through heart center. And at the end of your exhale, relax your hands down. And inhale, begin again. Stretch your arms up high. Exhale, soften your knees and bow forward. Let your head drop. Inhale, halfway lift, broad chest. And then step back to plank. So have your hands directly underneath your shoulders, your feet pushing back. Feel that you're lifting up in between your shoulder blades, nice pair. Notice if you're smiling already, why the hell not? Be courageous. With your next inhale, inhale so much that you come to the tippy tips of your toes and then lower down all the way through chaturanga to the ground. Flip your toes over, get very strong with your legs, and inhale, low cobra. Exhale, release and bow down. That was right, Bridget. You got it. Inhale, low cobra. Try it again. Really lift up your chest. Now see if you can float your hands. You can still stay there. Beautiful. So pair is not touching the ground. Yay! And then relax back down to the mat. Third time's a charm. Inhale, low cobra. Feel the power of your back. Pull your belly to your spine, even here. Hint of a smile. And then exhale, release down to the ground. Inhale here. And then just push back onto your knees and exhale, go up into downward facing dog. Let your knees bend a little bit. Scoot your sit bones up to the ceiling. Feel your fingers pushing down and forward. Take another full inhale. Empty your breath all the way. And then look forward and lightly hop your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Glide your chest forward and your shoulders back. Exhale, release and bow down. Let your head drop. Soften your knees. Then push down with your feet. Rise up tall. Roll all the way up. Lift up to the sky. And then with your exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Samasthiti. Inhale, stretch your arms up high. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, go right to chaturanga this time, or step back to plank and lower halfway down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Beautiful. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Let your knees be soft. And it's like, imagine you have two little doves lifting up your butt cheeks. So you're like rolling your sit bones up to the sky. Beautiful. Take another full inhale. We're building up the fire here. Empty your breath as you bend your knees, lift up your heels, and then fly your feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down. Push down with your feet, roll all the way up, stretch up nice and tall. Exhale, samasthiti. Let your hands come through heart center, then relax them down by your side. Bend your knees, drop your booty. Inhale, Utkatasana. And then with your exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, chaturanga. So you step to plank and lower down or jump to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. With your exhale, bend your knee, let your hips spin open. Notice how everything wants to go with your hip opening up. Of course, we all want to get open. But with this one, we're doing it a little bit controlled. You're going to push with your right armpit towards your left foot. Feel the power there. Feel your left foot dropping down to the mat. Straighten your left leg. Camila, yes. Take another full inhale. Then with your next exhale, bring your right knee to touch your left elbow. And then inhale, stretch your right leg long. With your exhale, bring your right knee forward to your chest. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, drop your knee down to your wrist, floating above your yoga mat. And then exhale, pull your knee up to your chest. And then step your foot forward. It's okay if you didn't get that this time. Now let your back knee come down to the ground. Slide your left knee back a little bit. And then inhale, supported crescent lunge. Let your hips drop. Beautiful. Take a full breath, maybe even starting to look upward. And then with your exhale, follow your breath all the way down. Sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your beautiful left leg up to the sky. Exhale, bend your knee, let your hips spin open. So really imagine your belly button wants to see your ceiling. And then let your right heel be heavy like an anchor. And your left armpit is reaching for your right toes. Take another full inhale here, lifting your knee higher to the ceiling. And with your exhale, bring your left knee to your right elbow. Inhale, stretch your left leg long. With your exhale, bring your right knee to your chest. Now inhale, drop your knee almost to the ground. And with your exhale, pull it all the way up. And then step your foot forward. Yeah, it's just a little like power move there. Let your right knee come down to the ground. Slide your right knee slightly back. And then lift up to supported crescent lunge. So feel your hips sinking down, squeezing your inner thighs together gives you the strength in your legs to allow your back bend to blossom open. Oh yeah. Take another full inhale and then exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, come up to your back bend, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Soften your knees, roll your sit bones up to the sky. Just feel your dog here. Your gaze naturally lands in between your toes. Feel your fingers spreading out. And start to enjoy that maybe you're elevating your temperature, starting to feel a little bit more hot. Take another full inhale. Empty your breath all the way and then lightly hop your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, drag your chest forward. Exhale, release and bow down, let your head drop. Push down with your feet, bend your knees, drop your booty, inhale, Utkatasana. And then exhale, stand tall. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, open arm twist to your right. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, open arm twist to your left. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk, fly, or float. Exhale, I love chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Spread your fingers out. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. And with your exhale, see if you can bend your right knee and bring it to your right shoulder. It's like way up there. Inhale, stretch your right leg long, and we'll try it again. Exhale, try to bend your right knee and bring it all the way up to your shoulder. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, bring your knee to your chest and step your right foot to your right thumb. Left leg stays lifted and rise up, crescent lunge. And with your exhale, open arm twist to your right. Inhale up, crescent lunge. And with your exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior, looking up, letting your back hand lift. And with your exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg long. Exhale, bend your knee and try to touch your shoulder. It's way above your elbow. Yeah, I know, annoying, huh? Inhale, stretch it long and try it again. Oh, easy peasy. Okay, inhale, stretch your leg long, and with your exhale, bring your knee to your chest and then deliver your left foot to your left thumb. Rise up, crescent lunge. And with your exhale, stay lifted, open arm twist to your left. Reach through your fingertips. Inhale up to center. And with your exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let your knees be soft. Scoot your tailbone up to the ceiling. We want the curviness in our back. That's what makes us like bouncy and resilient and boy, do we need resilience right about now. So we got to find our bounce. So feel your sit bones stretching to the ceiling. Feel that natural curve in your lower back. And then see if you can bring one elbow down to the ground and the next elbow down to the ground. So you're coming into dolphin pose. Beautiful. Now, so some people like to interlace their fingers and have their elbows shoulders distance apart. Other people like to just have their hands coming straight forward. The key thing here is you want to have enough space that you can say yes, yes, and no, no, whichever one you prefer, without your head bumping into things. So if your floor is too close, squeeze your elbows closer. Now, tiptoe your feet a little bit closer to your beautiful face and lift up your right leg straight up to the sky. And then peek forward at your fingertips. Oh, hey. And then see if maybe you can just have one little hop, like even just a micro hop. Great. Now switch your legs. Again, stretch your left leg up and then peek to your fingertips. This is a nice stop so that you want to be looking forward, beautiful, and just lift right up into forearm balance or just a micro hop. You just want to get a little air. Beautiful. And then with both of your feet on the ground, stretch one arm up and the other one up. Downward facing dog. Can you do it? Yes. Very nice, very nice. Take a full inhale. Empty your breath all the way. Look forward and lightly hop your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down. Let your head drop. Bend your knees, drop your butt. Inhale, Utkatasana. With your exhale, open arm twist to your right. Inhale, up to center. With your exhale, open arm twist to your left. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk, fly, or float. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky, and with your exhale, touch your left elbow with your knee. Inhale, stretch your right leg long, right knee, right elbow, enjoy a push-up. Inhale, stretch your right leg long. Exhale, step your right foot all the way forward to your right thumb. Rise up, crescent lunge. And with your exhale, open arm twist to your right. Inhale up to center, and with your exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior, and then with your exhale, bring your hands back behind you. Pull, interlace your fingers, and pull your knuckles down to the ground. Lift your chest up to the sky. And with your exhale, come into humble warrior. So you let your head drop to the inside of your right foot. This is a really challenging pose. So it's okay to be like, oh, I don't like it at first, but make friends with it. Imagine you're doing this for somebody else. Imagine with every full breath you take, you're helping other people in the world breathe. Even when you're hot and sweaty and frustrated. Yes. Now, this is a challenge. You're going to see if you can open up your arms and spread them underneath your thigh. Yeah, fantastic. So Per never even touched the ground with his hands here. So you stretch your arms out like you're floating. Oh yeah. And then bring your hands to the inside of your right foot. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Let your heart open. It's hard work. You can do it. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, bring your left knee to your right elbow. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, stretch your, oh yeah, do a push-up, thanks. Exhale, lift along and then step your foot forward. Rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, open arm twist to your left. Inhale up, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior, and then humble your warrior. So take your hands back behind you. Let your heart be gloriously open, and then bow your head down. The origins of the word humble mean from the earth. Humble, humus. So you want to let your head drop. And in this vulnerable, challenging state, you're okay. We're going to be okay. Imagine that you can take a breath for somebody else. We're in this together, and we might not be in the same ship, but we're in the same storm. And you working on whatever it is you're working, you're helping everybody. Now see if you can let go of your hands and courageously fly underneath your beautiful left thigh. Oh yeah. Even a couple birds sometimes fall out of nests. You got to try again. Let your chest be open. And then exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or a cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then see if you can bring your elbows down onto the ground. And then this time you're going to come forward into a forearm plank. And I know you're not expecting it, but you're going all the way down to the ground for a moment. Just take your arms, stack your arms, and bring your forehead touching on your forearms so your neck is neutral. Tita. You should feel some fire in your body. By design, we want to get you hot and sweaty. We want to have you working hard so that the rest of your day or the rest of your challenges today can feel easier. You can meet them with more room for grace. So one of the beautiful things that goes really nicely with a really strong back is a really strong abdominals. So as promised, we're going to try this out. So bring your hands underneath your shoulder, and you need to find that thing, and you're going to go right next to your yoga mat. So if you would demonstrate. So you set up by having your feet on something slippery, even like your t-shirt. I mean, you'd have to take it off, but anything, a pillow from your couch. If you're on a carpet, it might be slippery enough. Maybe not. We don't want you to get rug burn though. You might have to use a little sliver of wood, Bridget. I'm not sure, but we can now. I'll give you an alternative. So come into plank. Let's show you first. Come into plank pair. Yes. And then bring your knees up to your chest. And then back again to plank. Oh yeah. And back forward. Yeah, do you guys get that? I want to see you all doing it. For 5. I don't know what the 5 was for. We're going to do it for a moment. We're going to do at least 10. Let yourself get sweaty. See if you can, yeah, this is a great addition. You can mop your kitchen floor this way. Yoga while we work. All right, beautiful. And now find dolphin pose. On the mat, dolphin pose on the mat. So that's one where you have your forearms down. Your head is free. It's okay if you're breathing a lot, but try to breathe through your nose and then tiptoe your feet closer to your elbows. And then stretch your favorite leg up to the ceiling. Now look forward at your fingers. You might have a door in front of you, or you could use that. And then a couple of hops, hop up into forearm balance, landing quietly and lightly. So bend your knees as you land. Very nice. Very nice. 2 more hops. Yeah, baby, Sassy. You're so gorgeous. Love you. And then come into child's pose. Notice the vibration and the aliveness in you. We have in our internal space, we have connection to the whole universe. We have a connection to the different planets, but most importantly, we're connected to human beings. Just like we've manifested this on the outside with the internet, our internet connects each one of us. All right, lift up tall on your shins, preparing for a camel. So stand as tall as you can, standing on your knees. And then take your hands to your lower back. And if it's available for you, just turn your fingers so they point up. Beautiful. Pull your shoulders up first and then back. And then let your hips slide forward. Now really keep your head lifted for quite some time and feel that your chest is really open, and only then start to drop your head back. Keep your hips pushing forward, Sandra baby. Let your head drop. It's okay to let your head go. Beautiful, Nola. See if you can bring your hips a little bit more forward. Feel the open-heartedness. It's not easy. Now, if you have it, stick out your tongue, look at your third eye, and with a whisper, roar like a lioness. Beautiful parallel then. And then exhale, come into child's pose. You're starting to feel a little breathless, I hope. All right. Now find your way back into plank pose, either off your yoga mat to do the same thing we did last time, or if you didn't like that one so much, you can also do mountain climber. So, and let's do mountain climber. So mountain climber is, can you demonstrate, pair? So you come into plank, and then bring your right knee to your right elbow. And then step it back and bring your left knee to your left elbow. That's plank. That's mountain climber. And now go twice as fast. Oh yeah, baby. And I tell you, it's better to do it than just watch it. Try it out. Come on, I want to see you shaking. It doesn't have to look pretty. I mean, we got to get up that mountain somehow. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come into dolphin pose. On the mat. Dolphin pose. And then walk your feet a little bit closer to your elbows. Take your gaze towards your fingers. Stretch your least favorite leg up to the ceiling. And then lift up. So if you can hold forearm balance, go for it. Feel that you have to squeeze your elbows together. Nice, Alex. Breathe into it. Sorry I said anything. Keep playing with it. One of the things that we're learning in our practice is actually how to fall as well as how to get up. Yeah, so if you fall and it gets weird, you just roll with it like you're on fire. And then come into child's pose. Feel a little moment where you're resting. It's going to be okay. And then lift up on your knees. Prepare for camel. Prepare. So stand as tall as you can. Identifying with people who are this short. Mm-hmm. Bring your hands to your lower back. Maybe spin your fingers up. First, let your shoulders lift up and then pull them back and down. So you want to keep your shoulder blades in. Yes. And then let your chest open. If your chest is open, drop your head back and maybe take one hand to your heel. Maybe take the other hand to your heel. Feel the effort of your legs. So you're pushing down with your knees. You're pushing down with your shins. Your hips are moving forward. Your chest is expanding. Stick out your tongue, look at your third eye, and like a lioness, whisper and growl. And then find your way back to child's pose. We're nearly there, Sassy. Let yourself recover. Part of the measure of our fitness isn't what we can do only, but it's also how quickly we can get over it. So don't worry. You will start to slow down. You will settle down. But not entirely. All right, yogi's choice. You can do the sliding plank thing that we started with, or the mountain climber, or you can do the diagonal mountain climber. It's much harder if you're on the ground than just taking your knees up. Totally. So come into some position. Yeah. So you go to opposite elbows, or you slide your knees back and forth. It's nearly the same motion. Oh yeah. And then imagine you got a really good song playing. Soon we're going to be able to have some music in our classes. Boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah. Get hot. You're so awesome. You're amazing. Without you, none of us could do this. You got this. Let it burn. You got this. Do another couple extra for somebody else. Woohoo! And then find your position in dolphin pose. This is the last one. Do it was like the best one ever. If you want, you can go to a door. I see a door available in your house, or a wall. You got it, Izzy. Allie, you can try it. You can also hold it, so never mind, just kidding. Try it out. And Nola, you can also turn towards the couch, and so if you go all the way over, your feet don't go all the way to the ground. That's kind of fun too. So land quietly. And if it's easy for you, where's your challenge? Maybe holding it today, maybe lifting up into it today. So you know yourself. Izzy, get your base, squeeze your elbows in, get the setup right, and then lift all the way up. Think about slapping your butt cheeks to the wall. Yeah, squeeze your elbows in. Your head's not touching the ground. So your elbows squeeze in enough that your head's not on the ground. All right, find your way to child's pose. Oh, there's a fly. Oh, there was a fly. I love him very much. I wouldn't actually just hurt him. All right, now slide your way forward onto your belly. And we're going to come up into crocodile. So you might not know this pose. You're gonna have your right arm and your right leg bent, and your head's turned to the right. It's a really nice pose to like recover in. Pretend like the screen is the floor. So I'm lying this way. Yeah, it should feel really good. I can kind of see you, Izzy. It looks like you have it. You're looking to the right. Yeah, beautiful, Nola. You got it, Sabine. It's really cool to see so many rooms that I've actually been in. Oh, I love you guys. Let your breathing slow. So for ever, really, in all the different yoga stories, we've heard this phrase like, we are all one. And you probably even have kind of done what I did. You hear it and you're like, oh yeah, totally, man. But what does that really mean? Just shift your weight to the other side. It's a very gentle pose, should be a very gentle pose. So left arm bent, left leg bent, looking to your left. But notice what happens when you meet people who think so radically different than you do. The whole thing of we are one goes right out the window, right? Or even now, even in the New Age movement, we have this kind of attitude of, each to their own, as long as they're not hurting anyone. That last little bit, of course, it's a beautiful caveat. But my darlings, if we only knew how far-reaching every one of our choices were. It would be silly to add that to that phrase, because none of us can be alone, even if we close the door or stamp our feet and throw a tantrum and say, I'm not part of this. We're in this together. And then stretch your leg long. And bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Push your hips back to your heels. Cross your ankles, roll over your crossed feet, stretch your legs out in front of you. And then just with a little bit of, interpretive hippie dance, you got it. Lay yourself down onto the floor and then bring your right ankle to the outside of your left knee and take your right hand and thread it through in between your legs and interlace your fingers in the front of your left knee. You got it. So you can flex your right foot and that protects your right knee. But you want to flex your foot and still allow your knee to drop away from you. As you pull your left knee closer, you're trying to push or let your right knee fall away from it. Relax your head, Bridget, and you got it perfect. Relax your head down. Nice. So several years ago, I believe it was in Stuttgart at a lecture on courage, Orland Bishop said, about 50 to 70% of your illnesses come from other people. And he said this, and it's one of those things that has stuck in my brain for years. I think that was probably like 9 years ago, 10 years ago that I heard him speak about this. Now, mind you, I've seen him several times since then, and never did I remember when I was seeing him to ask him more about this. But yesterday, I heard another one of my teachers say the exact same thing. Now release your arms, but keep your legs exactly like they are. Keep your legs like they are. And then let your knees drop to your left so your right foot comes down onto the ground and your right knee is pointing up to the ceiling. So your right foot is like it's stamping on the ground and your knees pointing straight up. Yeah, it's a weird one. And then let your face turn to the right and your right arm can stretch out. So you want your whole right foot on the ground. Your right knee is pointing up to the ceiling. So yeah, there you go. And you should really feel it kind of on the outside of your right hip. Yeah, very nice. But my other teacher who I heard say this is Carolyn Mace. And for a couple of months now, she's already been teaching this class, which is called Breathe Together. And then come back to center. Unwind your legs. Put your feet on the ground, and then take your left ankle to the outside of your right knee. Maybe lovingly push your left knee away. Flex your foot and reach your left arm in between your legs and grab to the front of your right shin, or you can hold behind your thigh. Feel that you can pull your right knee closer as you drop your left knee away. But Carolyn Mace has been teaching this, we breathe together, before the media explosion of COVID-19. And this idea that our immune systems, I mean, we know this already innately. Our immune systems are linked to everybody else. So if you think about what built up your immune system, it's like the foods you've eaten, the people you've kissed, the air you breathe. The sicknesses you have had. These are all things that build up your immune system. Staying healthy and alone does not build up your immune system. And then release your grip with your hands. Keep your legs like that and just let your legs drop to your right. Like, you don't have to overthink it. You kind of catch the floor with the bottom of your left foot, and your left knee should be pointing straight up to the sky. Perfect pair. And then turn your face to the left, and you can even stretch out your left arm if you want. So as long as we have, our poor people suffering out of proportion, as long as we have, a part of our population at higher risks, most of the higher risks are, of course, because of drugs they've been administered, whether it's chemo or the flu shot. We're in this together. We can't separate each other out. It just doesn't work. There is no outside, just like there's no throwing away. Like, even if you don't believe it, we are connected to each other. So our practicing yoga, our practicing what we believe in, our practicing breathing just well and deeply, our practice of meditation, our practice of how we walk each day in our lives, it affects everyone. And so when we heal ourselves, we can actually help heal not only other people, but our actual earth, the planet we share. So if you have the privilege to be at home and sink yourself into your practice, don't feel guilty that you get to do it, but do it wholeheartedly for like the most suffering people in our communities. We're in this together. Now stretch your legs back stretch your legs, unwind your legs, stretch them out, and come into a nice Shavasana. Feel the ground hold you. We're going to stay in Shavasana for about 5 minutes, and I'm going to stay with you here. So cover yourself if that's necessary, or maybe just cover your eyes with your eyelids. Let your effort roll off you. Do you want a bigger one? Let yourself be present rather than trying to float away to dreamland. With your next inhale, invite your breath to the edges of your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes and your face and your nose. And maybe smile already. Maybe think of something you're grateful for. And then roll onto your side, hugging your knees to your chest, and just feel for a moment the vibrancy and vitality that isn't just yours, but it is being alive here on earth. It is ours. And then help yourself up into a comfortable position. I'm unmuting you guys so we can come into our final Om together. So find a comfortable position to sit. And you too, baby. Allow your heart to lift. Maybe you're feeling a little sassy, a little wiggle. You can be spiritual and sassy at the same time, I promise. Ground down to the earth to find the lift up towards the heavens. Empty your breath all the way. Take a deep inhale. 1 Om. Bring your prayer hands to your third eye. Invite the divine light. And as we bow forward together, we say, Namaste. And so much love. Oh, make some noise. Yeah. So thank you so much for coming to your yoga mat today. I know that even when you have lots of free time or lots of flexibility, it's hard to do what you want to be doing, actually. So invite your friends. That's one way to support me. I can also happily accept financial support. There's all sorts of different ways you can do that. And you can see that on my website, which is raystar.com. If you have any questions or any preferences, like, oh, you wish I would just keep teaching this class then or whatever, I'm trying to mix it up to keep, to make sure we can find like a class that we can have someone from Brazil. Thanks for being here, Sandra. As well as our usual Switzerland and Sweden represent, and Germany. But please let me know if there's anything I can do to help your practice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you're welcome to just hang